light vest.
Yeah, the light vest. So we don't open it. So once we're in the aircraft, you wear it
Okay.
like that. Okay.
Hi mga bisdak, so panibagong araw at panibagong vlog naman tayo mga bisdak. At ngayon sobrang super excited ko ngayon mga bisdak kasi na-invite or merong mabuting Pinoy na nag-invite sa atin mga bisdak para ma-experience natin yung sumakay ng private plane, yung maliliit na eroplano. Actually, andito siya ngayon mga bisdak, si Sir Chris. Ang kasama ko mamaya mga bisdak, dalawa kaming pasahero, si Marion. Vlogger din siya mga bisdak.
Yes.
So, ilalagay ko yung link ng channel niya. So, please pakisupport mga bisdak. Pinoy vlogger din siya dito sa Australia. Ngayon mga bisdak, hinihintay lang namin yung eroplano na gagamitin namin. So, bibigyan kami ni Sir Chris ng ng tawag na sir, yung pre-flight.
It's a safety brief. Once we're in.
How will it open, Sir Chris, just in case of emergency?
If we have to open.
Alright,
Okay.
alright. Okay mga
So
bisdak.
that's the rest of the safety information will be done at the aircraft because I need to show you the exit
Alright.
and all the other things I need to do. So
If you're nervous.
Yeah, if you're nervous and you don't know what, because you're not allowed to, especially if you're sitting at the front, you've got the flight controls.
Okay.
You're not allowed to touch the flight controls. And if you're nervous and you get all panicky,
Yeah.
you start grabbing things. What I normally tell my passengers is to put their hands underneath the legs.
Okay. Kasi tinanong ko si Sir Chris mga bisdak kasi baka mag-panic ako kasi medyo takot ako sa takot sa height pero excited. So sabi niya, lagay ko lang yung hands ko under.
Yeah, I think you should.
Alright mga bisdak, so yun nga, andito ulit ako with Sir Chris and again Sir Chris, very thank you so much especially sa pag-invite sa amin kasi once in a lifetime opportunity lang to.
Yeah.
So Sir Chris, if pwede pala maka-provide ka ng small details about sa stuff, sa background mo.
Okay, so I was born in the Philippines in.
Huwag na kayo magkwenta.
Don't calculate. So my whole family migrated to Australia in 1987 in Sydney, and then we moved to WA in 1990. I finished year 12 in WA, and that's in 1994. Then I moved back to the Philippines, following all my relatives back. In 95, I went to University of San Tomas, but got kicked out.
Oh,
Okay, Bulakbol.
so you moved back, then you stayed there for years.
Yeah, I stayed there. So from 1995 until 2001. So from 95, I went to UST. Then I went to University of the East. That's where I graduated business administration major in management. And then I worked for a couple of years as a purchasing officer in Napaka City. And then I decided to come back to Sydney because I wasn't seeing any future for me back in Manila. So as soon as I came back, I went to TAFE, did IT, and now I'm in IT. In relation to flying, I've always wanted to fly ever since I was a kid. If you guys look up Airwolf in Google, that's the show that started me. It's a TV series about a helicopter.
Yeah.
That's where I started my
Airwolf. Meron din akong question dito mga bisdak, kung ano ba yung full-time job talaga ni Sir Chris, pilot ba kayo or hobby ba lang to?
I wish piloting is a career. I can do, but I need to finish my commercial license to be able to work as a pilot and earn money as a pilot. But the prospect of jobs for me to have that kind of career is limited because I'm colorblind. So I'm only limited to certain operations. Like today, it's day. I can only operate in day. It's good weather. I can operate in good weather. Once it turns bad, no flying for me. I can't do what they call an instrument flight rating. I can't do that because I'm not allowed because I'm colorblind.
Yeah, but at least mga kabisdak, Sir Chris is allowed to have passengers.
So in saying that, it's not entirely true that if you have eye problems,
No.
that it's your aviation dreams is ruined.
Always find a way to make it work.
Nice.
Always find a way to make
So
it work.
if I had known, well, the rules changed as well. So I kept kept aligned with all the rules and regulations. So it changed in the last 10 years, which enabled me to make a decision. I'm going to continue flying, even though it's only up to the private. I was doing the commercial part, but it's just getting too hard for me with with the family, work, and my age. Obviously, trying to learn new things sometimes is a bit hard, being old.
So sir, what do you love most flying an airplane?
I like the landing is the most challenging bit.
Landing.
I love the landing,
Wow.
especially when there's a what they call a crosswind. It's coming from the side, so
Yeah.
you're coming in sideways. It's like drifting in a car, But obviously you have to straighten up before you land. That's my favorite bit in terms of flying the aircraft. Flying in the air, if it's still you could do whatever you want.
Pareho lang ba siya ng yung halimbawa nagda-drive ka ng car, yung ganun?
Yeah, that's why I always wanted to ask. Like,
in a sense, yes. But as a pilot, because you have to keep logs of your fuel, you're gonna monitor all your engine temperatures and everything, your performance. Otherwise, you get into trouble. Even though there's a fuel gauge and all the gauges, you still need to manually check your fuel.
so is it true that you have to be really good in math if you want to be a pilot? Because that's one of the myths,
Basic
diba?
math, yes.
Oh,
I'm really bad
okay.
at maths. If you look at my watch, right? See, there's a calculator.
Yeah.
There's a calculator there, and there's a timer.
Oh.
Because if I need to calculate something, I pull out my calculator. But for the flight test, you need to do it in your head or do it on paper. It's basic maths, but
Basic maths.
yeah.
You don't have to be like a genius in math. Okay.
No. Although in a screening test for your aptitude test, there's some really hard maths, but it's only to determine whether you're gonna. I don't know what they test there, but obviously I passed. But maths is not my strongest forte.
So may pag-asa pa.
Kasi mga mahina sa maths at yung mga colorblind.
Colorblind, yes.
Actually, colorblind is yung people wearing glasses, hindi yung colorblind, yung walang 20/20 vision. It's fine kasi you have glasses that can fix by the glass. Colorblindness there's no cure, nothing, you can't fix it. Can't fix it.
Tapos sir, na-mention mo na yung flight natin, possible, dadaan tayo sa Opera House, Harbor Bridge. So,
Yes.
pwede kang magbigay ng konting background sa flight natin mamaya? At gaano katagal?
The flight, because I already did the flight plan, so with all the winds, I've calculated all the winds and temperature and all that. According to my calculation, the flight will take us 43 minutes.
43 minutes. Wow.
That's if I'm doing according to the plan. If we divert from the plan, or if I go faster or slower on the plane, then obviously it will take longer, yeah? But the last time I did this flight with a few friends, it took us an hour and 15 minutes. The whole, from the start of the engine until shutdown, it took us.
Tapos sir, pareho ba yan sa kotse? Na halimbawa sa kotse, 1 hour is almost equivalent to 100 kilometers. Paano ba siya
Again, it's based on the winds and temperature. If I can grab this one here, I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So the plane we're flying does 105 knots an hour. So you have to calculate that in kilometers an hour. So it's times 2, really. So it's 210 kilometers an hour. But because the wind, the first leg that we're going from Bankstown to Parramatta, we're flying over Parramatta City. We're only doing a speed of 90 knots.
90.
Even though the plane is meant to fly at 105, but because of the wind.
Yeah.
So the wind's pushing us back.
So there's a lot of factors
There's a
contributing
lot,
to it.
even the temperature,
It's not that easy.
density, altitude. That's why when you think about flying, you see people just go. You think, oh yeah, we book a flight, hop in, take the plane out. No, I had to do all this preparation last night.
Yes.
Do all the I had to draw it on the map. What we're doing, but as a backup, I've got my trusty iPad with.
Meron din mga gamit si Sir Chris mo.
And we've got that.
Oh,
nice.
ito, map. Dito na sa iPad.
It's like his GPS.
It's a moving map, so I'll be
Oh, wow.
using this as well.
Sir, teka lang sir, kasi medyo bobo kasi, ano kasi yung nuts? Ano yung equivalent ng nuts?
Nautical miles. So if you convert nautical miles into kilometers per hour, it's 2.2.
Yun yung gusto malaman ko, ma'am.
So 2.2 times
1 nuts? One knot
is
is
2.2 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
Or about 2.
Okay.
So mas times 2 yung bilis niya, no? Sa land.
Well, you have to consider the wind then. So
And how long is the course?
You can do the course. It's all about money and time. You see.
Yeah.
If you have the money and you have free time, you could do it. You could do it in 3 months, I think.
Oh.
We have one student.
thought years.
He's done his private, commercial. He's done his flight instructor rating. Now he's doing he's done his commercial. So he's doing his airline transport pilot rating now because he wants to be in the airlines. He's done it in less than a year.
Oh, the commercial flying.
Yeah, so he's done it for the airlines. So
Nice.
So ano po yung tips niyo sir sa gustong maging matutong palipad ng eroplano or
Any pointers for
the
aspiring
first-
pilots out there?
You see, being a pilot, you're either they're the saying you're born to be a pilot. In some sense, it's right. I mean, I've met people that they're so keen to be a pilot, but when it comes to the ability of being a pilot, like being able to fly the plane, it's not there. So it's not for everyone. So the first suggestion we always say is come into the flight school, book a trial instructional flight. This will enable you to experience how to fly the plane. They will let you fly the plane.
So in saying that, even I can book an
Yes.
instructional flight.
Yes.
Oh my
Even
God, I
kids
would
can
love
do it.
that.
Even kids can do it.
Oh,
Even kids can do it.
Interesting, because I've always wanted to
You
experience
should come
somewhat,
back and see if you can try and
Yes.
take off, or actually, I don't think they'll let you take off. They'll let you fly, but they'll do the takeoff and landing.
Yeah, takeoff and landing.
When you progress on to when you decide to start learning how to fly, then you go through the motion of learning how to take off, learning how to start the aircraft, learning how to land.
Because takeoff and landing is the crucial part,
It's
right?
the most hardest. It's the hardest bit. It's the hardest bit. For me, the hardest bit is navigation.
Navigation.
Navigation, because of
Meron lang ako isang question sir, yung ano naman, si Sir Chris kasi sabi ko nga mga kabisdak no earlier na gumagawa din siya ng mga charity deeds. Especially meron siyang yung first time ko nakita si Sir Chris sa Pinoy online community yung truck sir ba na yellow? Spotto? Tapos parang nabenta mo na yun.
So Spotto was a yellow ute. Spotto started in April 2019. Spotto is actually derived from a kids game when I was young. When you travel long distances and you get bored, kids get bored, this is the game they play. So when you actually try and spot, that's why there's the word Spotto, spot a certain car with a certain colour, and normally the rarest colour that you'll find is yellow. So I invited my fiance Ricky to join me. So Ricky is obviously not Filipino, and I said come along and see what I'm doing, just see what I'm doing.
Yellow yun. So yun yung question ko, what inspires you sir to do this deeds to our kababayan na bagong dating mga student visa yung kasi napaka-helpful talaga mga kabisdak.
The thing is, I migrated to Australia when I was a young kid, so none for those coming over to Australia on student visas, working visas, or new immigrants. I've never had to go through that process, so I'm pretty sure it's a hard process, and my parents did it, and I'm lucky enough to be a kid in the family that not actually go through it myself. Being a member of the Pinoy AU Facebook group, that's where I saw, hang on a minute, everyone's struggling. They need they need help moving things, they need move, they need anything that I can help with. And that's when I came up with the idea of, hang on a minute, I've got this ute at home which is yellow. I primarily bought that because I love fishing, and I've got a small boat that I put on the back, and fishing for me sometimes doesn't happen every weekend, so I'll have the extra vehicle, the ute, just sitting parked outside doing nothing. So what better way to actually give back is to let them use my vehicle. The only issue then was my dad said, "Oh, how about your insurance? As if you start lending out your vehicle, what happens when they get to an accident?" I said, "Yeah, good thing. All right." So I said, "I'll start driving it." So that's how it started.
Because he offers free like
Well,
Removal.
I hate using the term removalist because there's an expectation.
yeah. He assists.
Yeah,
When
if
you
you
have
need a
to move
vehicle, here's
houses,
the vehicle. But if it's your stuff, you gotta help. I'll help
Yes,
you carry
yes.
it, but don't expect me to, you know, be like a professional removalist.
Wala pa rin. So, ito pala yung ground floor ng office mga kabisdak. So, hinihintay lang namin yung eroplano namin. Itong floor na to mga kabisdak, ito yung parang main office nila. So, parang hindi ako sure mga kabisdak, pero para siyang school, aviation school para sa mga pilots. So, yun hinihintay na lang namin yung flight namin. Yung eroplano namin kasi sabi ni Sir Chris Salamat daw. Tapos, pakita ko lang mga kabisdak sa side na to. Hindi kasi ata pa pwede kami pumasok dito sa loob, pero may mga eroplano dun. Mamaya pag nakapasok tayo mga kabisdak, lapitan natin yung mga eroplano na yan. Kabisdak, papasok na tayo. Dito na ata yung eroplano namin mga kabisdak. Ito, ang ganda ng mga eroplano. Pero hindi ito yung mga aircraft na sasakyan namin mga kabisdak. Tapos binigyan pala kami na headset ni Sir Chris mga kabisdak. So papunta na kami ngayon mga kabisdak sa aeroplano namin. Nandun natin nakapark. Ang dami nakapark na aeroplano din. Excited siya na mapanood yung vlog mamaya. Shoutout pala sa wife ko si Ami. Ito na yun. Mariel, excited ka na ba sa flight natin?
Very.
Hindi ka natatakot?
Hindi naman.
Yun
Excited.
Guys, support natin yung channel ni Mario na. Lagay ko yung
thank you guys, thank you.
Lagay ko yung link sa description.
Thank you.
Alright mga kabisdak, so ito na yung aeroplano. Isa sa aeroplano. Sobrang liit mga kabisdak, putik. Parang kinakabahan na uli ako. First time ako na makalapit sa isang maliit na aeroplano mga kabisdak na ganito. Parang ang liit ko yung mga kabisdak. Tapos ang bigat ko pa naman. Grabe. Kaya ng aeroplano yung timbang ko. Ito yung andun na si Sir Chris mga kabisdak. Alright. May ilaw mga kabisdak. Malakas ilaw. Yung ginagawa ngayon ni Sir Chris mga kabisdak is chine-check ata niya yung mga dapat i-check bago mag pre-flight check. Sir, ito yung makina dito, no?
Yeah.
Isa lang yung makina niya, no? Kasi isa lang yung propeller.
Isa lang.
Sir, kung sa sasakyan mayroong B6, ano itong makina na to?
Ito, 161 horsepower.
Grabe.
320 cubic inch.
Honestly mga bisdak, hindi ko talaga akalain na makakasakay ako ng eroplanong ganito kaliit ba? Kasi sa movie mo lang 'to makikita, or yung yung mga mayayaman ba, yung mga ganun. Very thankful talaga ako. Basta salamat Sir Chris. Tapos tingnan na natin yung mamaya yung reaction natin mga kabisdak kasi parang ang liit niya. So itong side na to, check ni Sir Chris yung gasolina. Gasolina to?
Avgas. Aviation gasoline.
Oh wow.
Needs to be blue and clean.
Very clear siya mga kabisdak, no? Meron ba yung special or unleaded yung mga ganun?
It's low lead.
Low lead.
So dito pala banda mga kabisdak yung gasoline tank. 92 liters mga kabisdak, pero yung sabi ni Sir Chris, each wing daw tank station siya. Mga kabisdak, this is it. Tinawag na kami ng pilot natin mga kabisdak, si Sir Chris. And yun nga iwan ko, hindi ko alam yung ma-feel ko. Andun si Marion, excited. Hindi kasi takot si Marion sa height, kaya excited siya eh.
I think the worst rides sa mga theme parks, yung nakakamatay, yun yung gusto ko.
So yung first step natin mga kabisdak, lagay doon natin yung yung life vest natin. So requirement to siya mga kabisdak, hindi ka pwede sumakay pag wala ka nito. Alright, ando na si Marion sa loob mga kabisdak. Tayo na yung sunod dyan.
It's on.
we're next. Sa harap tayo mga kabisdak, tabi tayo ni Sir Chris. Kaya napaka-importante na hindi ako malikot or hindi ako magalaw-galaw mamaya, no? Kasi bawal na meron tayong mapindot or magalaw na mga ano dyan, mga button. Sa black
Step on the flaps, ha? Step here.
Okay, alright. Copy. Sabi ni Sir Chris mga kabisdak, bawal daw mag-step dito kasi ito yung flap, yung nag-move. Tapos dapat dito ako mag-step. And then akala ko mga kabisdak, iiwan ako nila kasi sabi ni Sir Chris, papasok na daw siya. Ay, hintayin niyo ko eh. So dyan siguro ako mga kabisdak, sa side na yan. Kasi si Sir Chris doon sa kabilang side. Oh no, my goodness. Wait. Alright, let's go. Dito nakasalot mga kabisdak. Paano to siya isara sa ano ka lang?
Iwan mo na bukas.
Alright. Okay, lagay ko ang seatbelt ko mga kabisdak. Let's put our seatbelt on para safe.
So it's like a normal aircraft ng passenger plane.
Sir, pwede ko ba ilagay yung paa ko dyan? Ano yun? Or hindi pwede?
You can, pero don't step on the pedal.
Ganun na lang ako. No?
Oo, ganyan.
Alright mga kabisdak, so tingnan natin mabuti yung mga buttons sa front mga kabisdak, no? Kasi minsan lang talaga to. So tingnan nyo mga kabisdak, para ding parang sa sasakyan, yung sa kotse ba, pero ang kaibahan, ang dami niya mga gauge, yung mga ganyan na hindi natin naintindihan.
Okay, so check this out. Seatbelts on.
Yep, seatbelts on. Tapos yung pedal mga kabisdak, gas at brake, iwan ko lang kung ano yan, basta mayroong dalawang pedal. Alright. Explain lang ni Sir Chris mga kabisdak yung pre-flight bago tayo lilipad.
Okay, so
PreFlight.
pre-flight yet for CASA regulations. I need to explain the rules and regulations for an aircraft. So entering and exiting the aircraft is done so by that single door, and in case of an emergency we go out through that door and towards the back. For safety we have the seat belts. It's any normal airline seat belt. You clasp it, adjust it with a tongue, unbuckle it, take it off. Since you're sitting at the front, kabisdak,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to touch any of the controls, not interfere with the controls on the foot, no touching of the flight controls.
Yeah,
Okay?
no touching mga kabisdak.
No touching. No smoking in any stages of the flight, and you need to wear your life vest because we're flying below 2,000 feet, and I've already explained it to you down at the ground briefing how to use it. Okay, so we're ready to start.